The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the June 30th, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find a gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what the bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, that's this. During this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in 877-927-6640. If you can't dial in, well, we've got you covered there too. You can always go ahead, send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. And of course, in our Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on a wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now we got the mixed bag out here. The Dow's up 182. The S&P's up 4. NASDAQ is off 18. Semis are down 19. Russell's up 6. Trannies are flat. New York Stock Exchange is flat. Spot volatility index is trading down 32 pennies at 1570. That's always bullish for the market. You've got gold up $9. Silver 29 cents. Light sweet crude up 99 pennies. Trading out of 73.96. Leading the charge dollar-wise, the upside. Booking Holdings, $43. Intella Therapeutics, 34. Xometry up $30 or 68%. Pop Culture Group up 22. Beam Therapeutics up 21. To the downside, MicroStrategy off $17. Google 810. And there's a few others. Trade Shopify down 20. But we got a caller on the line. So let's go to Jim. Jim, and I'm not sure where Jim is at. Jim, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you?
Hey, Steve. It's Jim from Palm Harbor.
Thanks, Jim.
How are you today?
Excuse me?
I said, how are you today?
I am doing very well. How about yourself?
Doing good.
You getting tons
I was calling
of
about
rain up there way too?
PHM. Paul Henry Morrison. PHM is the stick stock symbol.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
I've got a little tiny starter position I started yesterday on a daily TD 2 up count and a crossover on a MACD. So I just started a real small starter position in it. It's that Pulte Home Builders, and I was just wondering what you thought of it.
Got it, yeah. So if I get my keyboard here to participate, we'll actually pull up the stock. There we go. We finally got it. So we got the Pulte Group out here, and let me get that rolling on my other set of charts here too, Jim. So what we can take a look at right now is where price is trading in relationship to its profiles. And you're inside the daily. Looked like yesterday was a breakout because price closed about 54.89. So right now, just consolidating between 53.13 and 54.89. You've got that similar type of consolidation going on in the weekly profiles between 52.34 and 56.20. And the monthly looks good from the standpoint price closed above the top of a bearish structured profile a few months ago. Still waiting for my other charts to populate here. Here we go. So let's pull over the other charts. And you were using the daily time frame to enter the position?
Yes.
Okay, so when we take a look at the daily chart out here, what we can clearly see is prices trading in between support, TD9 support. That's at 53.05. That was tested about 4 or 5 trading sessions ago. Chances are right now prices below its red oscillator and change line, and if it closes below 54.37, just prepare. It would not be unusual, Jim, for this to trade back and test that 53.05 level. It's not guaranteed that it's going to do it, but if it does, that should not be something that would be unusual. That's support. Resistance, if this can get its mojo moving to the upside, would be 58.61. That's the TD9 breakdown level. If price you were to see two close below 53.05, that would be signaling a move down to the 47.31 area. That's the next TD9 count. As we look at the weekly chart, this does have a valid TD9 count pattern. Not a problem yet, because price hasn't busted through the bottom of its weekly profile. 52.35 is the print there. If you did see a weekly close below that, that would be telling us about 47.31. I mentioned that the monthly was very strong, and it still is. When I take a look at the monthly charts out here, I don't see anything other than no top that I see out here. No, and maybe price is going to pull back to 51.13, but overall on the monthly it looks good. So the weekly says you're caution out here. And the daily, we've covered that. What questions do you have based upon taking a look at those charts and that information?
I don't have any more. That was it. You answered it very well, and I appreciate it.
Okay, perfect. So best of luck to you on that trade, Jim, and thanks so much for calling. Always good to hear from Jim in Palm Harbor. Of course, folks, I'd like to hear from you as well, 877-927-6648. And now we won't do that right now. I'm going to get something here running for a request. We'll do that when we get back from the break, just that it's taking a bit of time for these charts here to populate. I just have too many windows open. But let's go take a look at the general markets, so to speak. So let's begin by taking a look at our TAS market profiles. Yesterday, when we met at this time, there was a new profile that was attempting to form inside the Russell 2000. That has taken hold. So I want to give to you the support and resistance level. Resistance, 2346.70. Support is 2248.35. Now, the level you want to really be watching is 2304. Why? Because that's the center of its box. In proximity to the top or the bottom, it's much closer to the top than it is the bottom. So this is a bearish structured profile. My experience is, if you see a close below the center of a bearish structured profile, and not just by one pip or one tick or one penny out there, then what we typically see is sellers have the capacity, the ability to push price down to support. That's really all that they're really trying to do, is push price back to support, see if it holds, push price up to resistance, see if that holds as well. So it's at 2248. We don't make that call until we see a clear close. Well, let's say it closed below 2300. That would be the signal. So that's Russell 2000. Otherwise, nothing has really changed. If you take a look at this morning's action out here, inside the Dow, all price did was pull back, tested, and rejected old resistance that has now clearly become new support. And that's at 34.026. That's the top of that daily profile. You can't bust them down? Well, maybe price is going to try to bust them up. Well, where's bust them up? Well, the first bust them up is going to be that descending trend line. You can draw this on your Dow chart. Just use the high from May 10th, use the high from June the 7th, and you'll see that trend line. Where is that price today? In about the 34,500-ish range. So we're going to make the call that the Dow is going to go target that level. Now, I know there's a TD9 breakdown area inside the Dow. I don't have that handy on my screen. That could be the first level resistance, but about the 34,500 area. Then NQ could be targeting 14,841, and the ES Mini 43.65. We'll take a look at a couple other charts, a couple other patterns to be aware of out there that could identify a short-term top. It's just we're not there at 1:14 in the afternoon. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn. And he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. You know, I do believe everything in life happens for us, not to us. And well, as I had mentioned, my system was a bit slow because I had a number of things going, and I went to open up a new tab in my on my white background charts, the Ninja Trader application, and I opened up the wrong tab, one that had millions of calculations. So basically, the system would have been frozen for the entire show. So I had to just shut everything down, which meant I lost all that stuff. Now, I don't mean I lost it. I've got to, pull it back, restart it, which I have. But in any event, everything does happen for us. Now, I had mentioned we would take a look at the daily equity futures chart. So let's do this. I'm going to change screens out here. And we're going to take a look at the daily time frame, much like we were looking at the TAS market profile. So here, I want you to notice you've got the ES Mini in the upper left-hand panel. I'm going to just expand it out. We'll take a look at each one expanded, just so you can see what's going on. So here we can see that today the move lower inside the ES Mini has been nothing more than a test of that green oscillator and change line. It's a really invaluable tool. It's one of the more valuable tools out here to assist you with understanding is what's going on in the market, just a normal pullback to test a level of support. Remember, we take a look at support. We've got TD9 breakout support. We have our TAS market profiles, and we've got our oscillator unchanged line. And this one is the one that is really key. So today, nothing wrong. So the green line is telling us we have a price oscillator that is above zero and rising. That is a bullish condition. Now, that bullish condition could turn bearish today. I know where things are trading at 120, and we can look at these short-term time frame charts to get a feel for where the current signals are as to whether or not we've got a short-term top or anything like that on an intraday basis. But if price were to close below that oscillator and change line, it's printing at 42.73, we would then get a short-term topping signal. Now, as far as where price would pull back to, we go back and we take a look at the market profiles. We don't have to worry about that right now, but if you did get a close below 42.73, that would be giving us an early signal of a retracement, of a pullback to further support levels. And those would be our TAS market profiles. If we take a look at the NQ, today is going to be day number 8 of a TD9 count. Why is that important? Because in the TD9 series, that top has to form on a high from bars 8, 9 to the bar following 9. So that says that a top could form today through Friday out there. So we'd really put the ES Mini and the NQ together looking for signals. I don't have to give signals on the same day out there. When markets make tops, oftentimes they don't. Many times they do, but oftentimes they don't out there. And this is one of those times where clearly it would be they don't, because inside the Dow, it already has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That happened way back in the in the April timeframe. I believe it was April. Let me tell you exactly what the date was. It was, it was May 10th. May 10th. I don't know why I thought April, but I did. And inside the Russell 2000, it too has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, really a consolidation pattern, which is really between 2127 and about the 2350-ish type area. So that's what's going on those charts. Now, I did mention, so let me pull this over here. Okay, let me change from this screen to the short-term screen, the 30-minute time frame screen. Let's go see what it's communicating to us as of 1:21 in the afternoon. So the signal, the only signal right now that we have, the only topping signal I would say, is in the Russell 2000. That's your lower right-hand chart. I'll just expand it out. That way it doesn't confuse anyone. And the reason that we say that is because we can see that during the last half-hour session, the one that ended at 1 p.m., bar number 9 of a TD9 count. 8 minutes to go, chances are price is going to take out that high. So in effect, it has a TD9 count. Now, the cool thing about this pattern, both from the upside and to the downside out here, is if you did see a close above 2314.80, that's going to tell you you've got a strong momentum move to the upside. Of course, that strong momentum move is going to run into resistance at the 2324 level. Oh, by the way, I'll just pull this dart chart over here just to complete a thought. That thought was, remember, I gave you a descending trend line target for the Dow Equity Future contract. Oops, let's get that out of there. And 34,625 is the TD9 breakdown level. So I believe it was 34,500 to 34,625. That's the range on a further rally to the upside. Not that price can't take that out, but that's where the battleground is for the Dow Equity Future contract. And if the Russell closes above the high that came in during that 1 o'clock bar, 12:30 to 1, then you know that it should move up to 2324. To the downside, the likely price target for the Russell 2000 with this TD9 count pattern is at the 2302 level. Now, if price pulls down, that line will pull down a bit. So that's your range. But right now it's printed out at 2302. The other three equity future contracts out here, you've got the NQ. It's got a TD9 count top, a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. So those two patterns. Price right now is testing that red oscillator and change line. Now, this is where price change color, and it did it during this hour. Maybe hard to tell, but so trust me on this one. It changed color as we came into that 1 o'clock time frame. So here's where that test is. Now, if it's a test and rejection, we should see a test of the current lows. That actually took place during the 1 o'clock bar. And if price gets below that low, the price target becomes 14,470 to the downside. If price is able to close above this 14,552-ish area, then that would suggest a move up to 14,590. Remember, there's a 2-bar rule out here. So don't just use what takes place at 1:30. It's really at the 2 o'clock time frame that we'd be watching. So we know what to look for inside the NQ. That's good. That's cool. Inside of the ES Mini, price here rallied up to resistance. Resistance being that TD9 breakdown level at 42.8750. Held that, got up there at 11 o'clock. It's held that area. So it closed about 42.8750. That would be a bullish move. Its oscillator and change line on a 30-minute basis recently changed colors. That says price should pull back, although it was really close to doing that during that 1 o'clock bar out here. So, but price may get back and really test it at the 42.82 level out here. So its signal to us right now as we speak is, well, what I would call neutral. And inside the Dow Equity Future contract, it has, it's not going to do it during the 1:30 bar, but if price did make a higher high intraday, because this will become bar number 8, and it does that between 1:30 and 2:30. If it makes a higher high, then you will have a TD9 count top inside the Dow Equity Future contract for its 30-minute time frame. Woo! Got through that. So I hope that helps you out with regard to the equity futures and what they are doing. We do have some questions that have come in, so I'd like to get to those. First one coming in by Nantucket. No, it's actually Joe, but I like the ACK as the initials out there. And Joe writes in and says, I would be interested in your tools analysis and buy areas for QS. QS, QuantumScape, I believe is what QS is. So let's go see how QuantumScape is trading in relationship to its profile. So you're asking for a buy area. So here's what we know right now. Yesterday, QuantumScape tag got up to resistance, the top of its daily profile, 31.73. Now, last time price was up here was back on June 9th, 17 million shares. Yesterday, price was up with nearly 17 million shares, 16.1. So it's moving into that swing point with decent volume, still trading inside that swing point. The buy on the daily basis would be at 26.71 on a pullback out there. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We get back from this break here. We're going to go take a look at QuantumScape on my other white background charts. For Joe, Steve Rhodes, TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Tom O'Brien has just published his 1000th Gold Report. It's amazing to think that Tom has been writing his weekly Gold Report for almost 20 years. To celebrate the 1000th issue of Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, we've just launched a Tiger Dollar sale which runs for 2 weeks only through July 4th weekend. We've doubled all the Tiger Dollar bonuses where you can now get up to a 40% bonus on your purchase. But that's not all. Inflation is here and the price of the Gold Report is going up after July 4th. Right now, you can lock in the Gold Report at the current pricing of $97 a month for as long as you remain a subscriber. This deal won't come around again. Get your Tiger Dollars today and apply them to the Gold Report before the price goes up on July 5th. Tiger Dollars never expire and are good for any TFNN newsletter or service as a great way to add savings. Head on over to the front page of TFNN.com for all the details and help us celebrate Tom O'Brien's 1000th Gold Report.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at QuantumScape out here, and the question is, where is there a buy point? So the first level that we threw out was the bottom of the daily profile, 2671. We suggested that because we could see prices trading below the weekly profile, and there is no monthly profile out here. Now we pull over the white background charts. When we pull over these, we've got a little bit more space for the daily time frame that we're looking at. We can see that it formed a nice Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom out here. Did that, let me get the crosshair out here. It did that on the trading session of May 26th, when it generated that bull sash candle out there. So you got a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. You've got wave number 7, that's letter G. So two of our signals that we look for. And what we can see is that really this is just, it looks to me like this is just under accumulation. We just have a sideways move, no sign of strength. I mean, no wide price spread, no accelerated volume. This chart here is not showing the volume. The other one did. And so this is just under accumulation right now. So you want to, on something that's under accumulation, you want to try to buy it near a support level. 28.18, the bottom of the daily profile, that's what I would be looking at. I would wait for some type of pullback if you want to get into QuantumScape. So, Joe, I hope that helps you out with regard to what the charts are communicating to. And thanks so much for your patience in writing in. The next question, going to Rich. And Rich says, could you please provide an updated analysis on 2 stocks? I have a nice gain in Bingo and ATOS. So let's take a look at the ATOS first, ATOS. And your question is, I'm thinking about buying more ATOS as it's pulling back, but above the 21-day moving average, but worried that Bingo might be breaking the 21-day. So I'll leave the 21-day up to you. I don't have that indicator on my system. I don't really use it, but you do. That's cool. You're especially interested in your daily oscillator and change line for both. Okay. So here's what we know right now about Atossa Therapeutics. Today could be a day to add. The reason that we say that, Rich, is because you can see that price pulled back to test support. And support is the bottom of the daily profile, 617. If there are buyers, that is the buy the F dip area out here. Now, the cool thing about that is you can buy it. You can buy it right now at 666. That's a little devilish. I wouldn't buy it at 6. I'd buy it at 667 or 665, but not 666. Just kidding. I don't have any kind of what do they call those things? Yeah, you know what they call those things. Anyway, so the bottom of the daily profile has been hit. There's nothing on the weekly chart or really the monthly that's going to help us out here. Let's pull over ATOS on my daily time frame chart. So here's the deal. This forms both a TD9 count top and yesterday confirmed a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Now, here's the deal, Rich. When we get those topping patterns, all that really offers sellers the ability to do is to push price back and test support. And support has held. We'll go take a look at volume in a moment out here. If support fails, then your buy area is going to be 443. That is the last breakout level. That's based upon the current TD9 count pattern. You want to know where the oscillator and change line was on the daily basis at 722. You didn't ask me, but on a weekly basis at 475. You've got a TD9 count on the weekly basis as well. Says price could pull back to the 475 level out there. So that's what I see when we take a look at ATOS. Let me look at a 30-minute chart here quickly. I don't see any kind of a bottom signal. You know, so when price is pulling back to support on, well, I take that back. There's a Gartley buy pattern on the 30-minute basis. There is an A to B equals CD. Even though this set of charts here doesn't allow me to draw in the A to B equals CD, I can do it manually just simply by making the A to B leg and then taking that over to the C to D leg. So fairly close, but not all the way down there at the 554 level. But for all intents and purposes, you do have a buy the D point. But price has got to close above 768 to tell you that that was a real buy the D point on the 30 minutes. So I'm going to suggest you're already long this position. You're looking to add to it. I'm going to suggest that you be patient and just wait. And you could have a buy ordered at 617. You could exit that trade that you've added to it if you see it close below it and wait for 443. Your second request was for a ticker symbol. I don't remember. Let's go back. Oh, Bingo, I believe it was. So let me get Bingo going on one of these other charts out here, BNGO, and because it may take just a few moments to populate. And when we take a look at bio-nanogenomics, so bio-nanogenomics is trading above the top of its daily profile. So I know you've got more concern about BNGO versus ATOS, but from a profile standpoint, it's saying that's not the case, because price is pulled back to test the top of the profile, and therefore it remains bullish out here. And price is above the top of the weekly profile and above the top of the monthly profile. So if you were to ask me from a profile standpoint, not a Stevie standpoint, from a profile standpoint, which of these two is most bullish, it would have to be bio-nanogenomics out here. Now, let's pull over the BNGO charts, the daily. We've got daily, weekly, and a 30-minute chart to take a peek at. And on a daily, you've got a TD9 count top. If price were to get below, close below 723, this could pull back to 547. If you're looking to get into this, I know you're not because you already are in this, but those that are listening are looking to get in this. Your ideal entry would be pulling back to its breakout level, and that's $5.47. So the TD9 on the daily, a TD9 on the weekly, but its work may have already been done. We would say it had been done if we could see it close above on a weekly basis, 789. We don't have that right now, so the weekly's not saying, hey, you've got a confirmed buy or anything. So I would wait. The two of them, this is the strongest. Those who don't have a position, wait. See if this can pull back into. Now, the buy area here is going to be between 620 and 653 or 547. Those are the areas that I'd be looking at. Look at short-term time frame charts as price is targeting those levels out there. So, Rich, thanks so much for writing in. I hope that helps you out, and best of luck to you in those trades. HD writes in. HD wants to take a look at Rigatoni. RIG is the ticker symbol, and that is Transocean Limited. And as we look at it, here's what we know. Prices above the daily, weekly, and monthly profiles out there. So that looks very bullish. Let's pull over the other rig chart, see if there's any other information that we can provide to HDTV. HD, price is up at prior resistance. That was a TD9 and Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. So price just simply made its way back to resistance. I don't have a topping pattern in place as we speak right now, so it's just the one from March 10th. You're going to want to watch that high. That high is, well, tell you what that is if I hit the right button. That high is $4.81. So things are bullish here, absolutely, but you're up against that resistance area. So it's really somewhat of a neutral signal on the daily time frame. Rigatoni on the 30-minute chart out here, I don't have anything there. And on a really short-term chart, such as a 10-minute, not really much to report on for you here. So back to rig on a daily basis, trying to take out resistance. Let's just take a look at the volume metric for rig, see what it's going into. And again, this is the daily time frame. So why did those two charts look somewhat different? Oh, maybe I just need to go back further. There we go. Let's open this up. There we go. So the volume from March 10th, 2021, 76 million shares. Yesterday, you were tackling that with 55 million shares, and today you're only at 17. Maybe it's building cause. It's laying below that swing point, so to speak, like Tom likes to. I did test it and reject it, but with price above the top of that bearish structure daily profile out here, its signal at the worst case is neutral. But we're going to go with bullish because volume yesterday was pretty good out there. So HD, I hope that helps you out with regard to what Rigatoni is doing. That is Transocean Limited, ticker symbol RIG. When we get back from this break, we're going to go to answer a question from Alan Kelly in our YouTube channel.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Dow is up 164, S&P's up 3, and NASDAQ 100 down 10 points. So a couple questions that have come in. The first one here from, well, it's not really the first one, but it's one I'm going to go ahead and answer first, and then we'll go to the second one. And the first one here is from Alan Kelly on our YouTube channel. And Alan's question is, he asks, why do you use the 30-minute charts as many don't? Also says he loves your show. Well, thank you for loving the show. Let me answer that question. So when I'm using the 30-minute charts out there, that really first came, well, let me first change panels out here. So the 30-minute charts were, where it first came from, Alan, was I developed a trading system, an automated trading system, which I still use to this day. And it was in the ES Mini. And of all the time frames that from a short-term standpoint that provided the best results, it was the 30-minute time frame chart. So that should answer that question right there. Where does that come from? Now, when I take a look at equity futures charts for the most part, what I like to do, and here, this is going to answer question number 2. So I'm really combining a couple of questions into one, and I'm not fully done answering Alan's question out here. But this is Cindy's question, which is, how do you know which TD9 count to use, in the different time frames, whether you're using 15, 30, whatever, 6,500, what have you. This is the Russell 2000 indice, the cash indice. So this does have a 30-minute element of it. And the reason why a 30-minute time frame chart is good to use for pattern recognition is because there are 390 minutes in a cash trading day. We're not taking a look at pre-market and post-market. We're talking about between 9:30 and 4 p.m. Now, it's really important, I believe it's really important, that when we take a look at a bar on a chart, that it is equal in time to each of the other bars. So all you do is if you take 390 divided by 30, you've got an equal number. That's a 30-minute time frame that we can use. When I'm looking at a stock or a cash instrument, now look, during the and I want to look at another time frame that's equally divisible, we get the 65-minute. So not a 60-minute. You've got to use a 65. It's 390 minutes in a trading session. What's the next level? Well, that's pretty easy. Just multiply 65 times 2. You've got 130. And then we've got 195. So there are 295-minute bars. So when I'm taking a look at these instruments, it's really important from a pattern recognition to make sure that we're using the same kind of patterns. And that would also include time. Right? So that's a reason. Now, you can go down from 30-minute to 15-minute. You can certainly use 10 or 5. But, I certainly don't do that or use that from a show purpose standpoint. So that's where the 30-minute time frame came from. Now, when we take a look at a equity future contract, I don't do that out there. Here we're almost trading 24 hours. We're not. We've got periods of time where the equity futures are closed. They're closed between 5 and 6, and they're closed for 15 minutes between 4:15 and 4:30. Yeah. Is the time frames out here. Here's the equity futures contracts. Here I'll use 30, 60, 120, 240, 300, and so forth out here. And just simply, it works. It works. And I know, Alan, you said that others don't use it. I don't do what others do. I don't even pay attention for the look. When I say I don't pay attention, it doesn't influence me. I listen. And if there's something out there that says, hey, maybe I should look at that because something's not working, in the tools that I use, and then okay. But these tools here are solid. They've proven themselves to be solid throughout all types of markets, declining markets, rising markets, sideways markets, which are the hardest to trade out there. So I hope that answers your question. Now back to the using the TD9 counts out here. If I get into a trade, the Russell 2000 probably isn't the best to look at, but if I'm in a trade to the upside, Cindy, and it's based upon a daily time frame chart out here, then I might look at I want to know what's going on this set of panels here. I want to know what's going on in all the different time frames. The intraday time frames are just going to help me on that daily to recognize when there's a short-term detour. So, for example, if you were long the Russell 2000, I'm just using this as not saying this is the example, it's just the one that's on my screen right now. But if we were long the Russell 2000 and we just simply see it's got a TD9 count, I can anticipate that price is going to pull back. I just simply know what's going on. Now, if I were trading, because we had really narrow ranging bars, not a whole lot of volatility and so forth, and I was trading a 30-minute time frame chart out there, and it had a valid bottom. The bottom out here on a 30-minute basis, by the way, was wave number 7. So, Cindy, you and I know that Basil's wave number 7 is an excellent tool to make us aware of about a potential change in trend out there. Doesn't always happen, but boy, when you see it, it's like when you're traveling down the expressway, do you want Waze or Google Maps or and really Waze, because they do a great job with regard to the traffic out there? Do you want to drive with Waze or without Waze? It's your choice. When I'm driving down and I'm trading out here, I want to have my Waze system on. And this is the Waze system. And on a 30-minute basis, Waze said you've got wave number 7. So that's a potential bottom out there. Pricing gets back inside a slightly bullish structured profile in the very next bar. Gets above that, says you're moving higher. You get up to a TD9 count out there. I'd exit that trade. I would have exited that trade anticipating that price is going to do what? Pull back to test support. Where's support? It's going to be that oscillator and change line, 2303. Is that an entry area? It could be. Might have to look at other things that are going on. But the ultimate re-entry into this long trade here would be at 2288.60, which happens to be the TD9 breakout level. So with regard to what time frames, if my trade that I'm in is based upon a daily time frame, all the other stuff is really noise. But I want to understand the noise that's going on. I want to see, for example, if I were long the Russell 2000, Cindy, and price closed below that TD9 breakout level, 2288.60, that's the first signal of a potential change in trend. I'm not saying it would be a change in trend, but in order for, it's kind of like this chart here. We talked yesterday. I think I still have it. I don't think I deleted it. So let me go to it, and then I got to change screens because I'll be talking about one screen while the other screen is actually showing. But first, let me find it. Here we go. And this is really important to understand as far as how I look at things. Others, you're right. Others look at things differently. I just present you with the information and say, so yesterday we were talking about the light sweet crude. This has got my synthetic version of light sweet crude, so I can put all these daily market profiles, and that's what's on this screen out here is a daily market profile. We're not going to get a change in trend signal. Now, this is not about selling the top tick out here. This is about being able to understand if there's a change in trend or not. In order to get a change in trend signal on light sweet crude, there must be two closes, quite frankly, below the bottom of those profiles, because those are the buy the dip areas. 71.98 as an example. We talked about that yesterday out here. So if there's going to be a change in trend, that's the first thing that's got to crack. So if we went back, in essence, to that Russell 2000, and we're just taking a look at our TD9 breakout levels, that's the first thing that's got to crack on a change in trend. In fact, if we take a look at the Russell 2000, it already broke through one of those levels out here. That was a 2309 area. But, of course, that gave us an A to B equals CD to the downside. That gave us a wave number 7, and then that has led to this TD9 count. So I don't want to belabor it too much. Hopefully that I am trying to be clear, but sometimes my being clear even confuses the Sam heck out of Steve-O. But I did the best I could. Key levels of support out there. So even on a daily time frame, if I see key levels of support being broken, I may need to change the course of action. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. So we've got a question here from Hector and the fuel injectors out here. And Hector writes in, he writes, "Hey, Steve-O, happy Wallbanger. Wallbanger Wednesday. I like that creativity. That is Harvey Wallbanger. I believe that you're talking about. Hey, Hector, do you know where the Harvey Wallbanger drink came from, or who developed it, or who invented it, so to speak? I'll tell you. It's from a bar a bar out in California. It's the Black Witch Bar, by the way. I believe it was the Duke is the one, and I'm not talking about John Wayne, the Duke. I'm talking about another Duke who created. Anyways, your question is PLTR. Is it time to jump off this pony or keep riding it to the moon? So let's go take a look at Palantir. I believe one of our denners out here caught this at the bottom. It was Victor, as I recall, been looking at it. And in fact, let's pull over. Let's do it like this. Well, first of all, let's answer your question. It's time to jump out here. First, right now, prices, there's no change in trend to the downside. That would only occur. There's a brand new daily profile. It's bearish in structure, but prices above the center of that at 26.30. If price did get below that level, then you could be looking at move back to 24.81. Only a close below 24.81 would tell you there's a change in trend. So if you're Victor and you got in, I believe Victor got in on the day of May 12th, or it would have been May the 13th out there. That was, I believe we had a TD9 count. We'll go confirm that out here. That's what we were watching in Palantir. And so you'd have to see a close below 24.81. So if he got in on that day, I'd be anticipating that price might pull back there, but I wouldn't exit it. I especially wouldn't exit the trade because if you look at the weekly time frame chart out here, it's now inside a bullish structured weekly profile. Now, granted, prices found resistance at that center line at $27, but boy, it closed on a weekly basis about $27 says Palantir will go ahead and run up to 36. Now, let's go to my eight multi-time frame charts out here. We just spent time talking about the different, equal bars and the different time frames. And here's a chart. So we got our monthly, our weekly, daily, 195, 130, 65.30, and then I've got a 15-minute time frame chart out here. So as we take a look at it and trying to answer the question, so far today's pullback on the daily chart out here shows that price is just really testing two levels of support. One is the profile level, and the second is the oscillator and change line. I would say at this stage here, stay with the trade, but let's look at it in more detail tomorrow. Folks, thanks so much for being here. Have a great Wednesday.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people.